Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am very happy to show you my December weekly plan with me video. I am very happy with how these spreads turned out. For the month of December I went with the generic Christmas theme. Nothing too special, nothing too specific. I just wanted a lot of winter themed items, a lot of drawings, and what can be more winter and more Christmas related than a big Christmas tree with some gifts. So that was the theme for my very first weekly. Just a big Christmas tree in the center of the page, drawn with gouache, and just some generic rating for the days of the week. That seemed pretty good to me. Moving on to the second weekly of the month, I decided to do a Dutch door. I don't really do a lot of Dutch doors in my journal, but as it is the end of the year, I have some 3 pages left in my journal. I decided, why not? I just did a little bit of lettering for the numbers of the days. It turned out a bit wonkier than I thought that I wanted, but it still looks nice. And for the last part of the page, that's gonna be covered or uncovered by the Dutch door segment, I just did a little drawing. I didn't really have a plan for what kind of drawing I want to make there, but I just free-handed a little view, a little sight, and just made a tiny little snowman in the forest. This spread is definitely a little bit more unusual to me because I don't use a lot of Dutch doors, but I feel like at the end of the year, when I have a lot of extra pages left in my journal, I really enjoy a little bit more spacious spreads, and it turned out pretty good. I just hope I will have enough things to do to fill all the spreads. And as all the spreads were done, I felt like the page kinda looked a little bit empty, especially if you don't see the drawing. So I just added a little strain of fairy light on the bottom with some sparkly paint, and I feel like it filled up the space pretty nicely, tied it all together, and I really like how it looks in the end. Moving on to my next spread, we have another type of weekly. It is a little bit more simple, a little bit more familiar to me because this is a kind of weekly spreads I usually do when I put 1 week on just one spread. I had 1 space left after all the 7 little boxes made on the page, so I decided to make there a little drawing of a Christmas wreath. Again, using just gouache, nothing else. I feel like this looked so pretty. It is very simplistic, it is incredibly easy to make, but I kind of like how it turned out in the end. A little bit minimalistic, definitely not photorealistic or anything, but it's just cozy. It is just cute. This is what I like. And And after adding a little bit of sparkles here and there, a little bit of stars, we are moving on to the next weekly page. This spread is definitely a lot simpler than all the rest. There's almost no drawing, so I just did these sections for days of the week. Saturday and Sunday went on the one column because it is supposedly weekend. I am supposed to be relaxing, so not too many tasks, please. And from the top of the page I just put this kind of like Christmas baubles with days, with number of days there, and just a simple string of fairy light on top just to make a little bit of decoration. It does look a little bit plain and a little bit black and white right now, but I really feel like it's gonna look pretty when I am done filling it up. And for the very last weekly spread I decided to go again with a Dutch door, but make it a little bit interesting. So I just made a little painting of mistletoe on the middle of the page, and I decided to make something quite interesting you're gonna see in a second. And here we go, you can enjoy the footage of me struggling with scissors. I decided to cut a part of the page to make kind of like a peeking spread into the rest of the days of the week, but I really struggled with scissors. I don't know why it was so difficult to cut this page in half, but I definitely want to get some kind of knife to cut this a bit more precisely and a bit more neatly in the future. And even though I decided not to draw any mistletoe on the other part of the page, the floppy part that turns, I still kind of like how it is. It definitely has a lot of space to use, so I'm really happy with how spacious and practical all the weekly spreads turned out. So here we go for the final flip through of all the weekly spreads. I am very happy and kind of proud of how all of them turned out. I know I say this pretty much every single time, but I am really happy with how all these spreads look, because they look very practical but still quite pretty. Thank you very much for staying with me this year. If you're new or if you've stayed with me for the whole 2022, soon I will see you in 2023 preparation. So stick around and see you soon.